Relationships can be hard. They can be so overwhelming. They can be so tiring at times, whether it's a relationship you have with your husband or your kids or your friends or your own mother, co-workers, family members, all of those. They can be overwhelming. They can be extra, but they are so worth it and so necessary. And to maintain healthy relationships, there's one thing we all need. But before I get into that, let me welcome you back to my channel. My name is Ayanna, and this is Beyond Committed, where we talk about everything from life, faith, family, marriage, motherhood, and everything in between, and we take them beyond. If this is your first time here, welcome, and I'm so grateful you stopped by. And to make sure you're not a stranger, make sure you press that subscribe button below and then turn on your notifications so you don't miss a video. All right, now let's dive right in. Now, we're talking about relationships. I mean, all of us have so many different relationships, so many different depths of relationship, from your bestie to your husband, to the relationship you have with your kids, with your mom, with your dad, with your family members, with your coworkers, with your friends. I mean, the list can go on and on. And although they're not always easy to navigate, although sometimes they can be extra at times, relationships are so necessary. I mean, God created us to be in relationships. So it's so important that we nurture them, that we care for them, and that we also create boundaries for them. Yes, I said boundaries. Boundaries are something that's necessary in every relationship, including your marriage. I mean, there's certain things that are okay and certain things that aren't. Certain things that you want to happen, certain things that you don't. Certain places you're willing to go, and certain places you're like, nope, hold on, stop right there. That's a no-go. I mean, the list can go on and on. And it's so important that we're mindful of not just what boundaries we should set, but why we need boundaries in the first place. Number one reason you need boundaries in relationships is because it keeps you safe. I mean, physically and emotionally. I mean, there's so many things going on in our world. There's so many different things that's going on around us that may be okay for some, but may not be okay for you or your marriage or your friendship or your parent relationship, whatever the case may be. So it's so important that within your relationships that you set the boundaries necessary to make sure you're staying physically and emotionally safe. For instance, me and my husband have certain boundaries about, okay, what we do and go with friends of the opposite sex or different things like that, because it's not that there's not trust there. There's not that, we're not mindful or or whatever, but there's certain places we don't go for our own safety and well-being and the health and safety and well-being of our marriage. And that should be the same for you. And there is no one size fits all boundary, but it's something that's necessary regardless of whatever relationship you're in, because it helps to keep you safe. And the second reason why we need boundaries in a relationship is because it helps to keep things out. Yes, having a safe, secure, and healthy relationship means that there's some things and some people that are just not allowed to enter in it. And that is okay. And that's something that should be respected. And that's something that you have to establish between you two within your relationship. For instance, in marriage, let's say, there's certain things that we don't share. There's certain things that we don't tell other people, not because we're trying to be secretive or hide things or anything like that. But it's like, okay, people can't unremember things. People can't, look at a situation for what it was right then and not carry those memories forward. So it's so important that we set boundaries with what we share, what we don't share, with, who's allowed, in our home or around our kids or whatever the case may be, because there's certain things that you want to keep out of your relationships. And the only way to do that is to set up the necessary boundaries. And the third reason why we need boundaries in our relationships is because it's an expression of love. Love is an action. It's not something that we just feel. It's something that we do. It's something that we show. And boundaries are a great way not just to show the person we're in a relationship with, but the world how much we care and love about this person and this relationship enough to be like, okay, these things are okay. These are the things we want. These are things that we want to protect within it. And these other things are not okay. These things we don't want. These things we don't want to be within our relationship or to potentially cause division in our relationship. So we're going to set up these boundaries because we love and care enough about this person in our relationship to want to protect it, to want to keep it safe, and to want to keep things out of it. Now that's it for today. And I want to know, what kind of boundaries have you set in your relationship, whether that's in your marriage, in your friendship, with your in-laws, whatever it is. I want to know. Drop it in the comment box below. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to press the subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss a video. All right, now until I see you again, bye.